and welcome to a bonus bit from Grow, Make, Cook. We've had a couple of lovely people reach out and ask some questions, and so we thought we would make an answers video. In this video that I'm linking up here, we made the backing board for a towel rack, and a couple of people have expressed interest in how that turned out. So here it is. And in this episode here, we were making compost. And I have had a few different questions about making compost. One of them was, can you add tomato prunings to your compost heap? And the answer to adding just about any prunings to your compost heap is absolutely yes. But tomatoes are a specific case. If your tomatoes have come down with blight, which is a very specific fungus, then you need to treat it by getting it really, really hot. And most normal compost heaps in your backyard don't actually get hot enough to kill off the blight spores. If you're looking to compost your own tomatoes that have blight, so if you've looked at it and it looks like it's all black and rotted and you want to compost that, then what you need to do is make a really big compost heap with lots and lots of green matter. And particularly if I need it to be very hot, I will tend to use a lot of grass clippings, a lot, so that it really heats up. But otherwise, if you do have tomatoes that are sick, the best bet is actually to either dispose of them or burn them, because to get your compost hot enough to kill off those spores and not spread it is actually a pretty big job. The other question I had about compost was to do with weed seeds and whether or not I omit any weeds that have seeds on them when I'm throwing them into my compost heap. And the answer for me is no. I know some people don't ever put weeds that have seeds on them into their compost heap because their compost heaps don't get hot enough to kill off the weed seeds. But I tend to do composting on a really big scale, and my compost heaps get really hot, and so we tend not to have so much trouble with that. I will admit though, we do sometimes get weeds that come up just from my compost, and I just weed them out. I have had a couple of people reach out from my hometown in the Hunter in Australia asking about the permaculture group that my dad is a part of. We mentioned it briefly in the video I'm linking just up here, but I'm not actually a member of that group myself. I will put a link to their Facebook group in the description below, but I haven't done a permablitz for a very long time with them, and if you'd like to get in touch with them once the COVID lockdown is done, I'm sure the people down in that group will be more than happy to help you out. Lastly, but not least, I have had somebody ask me about this video that I've got linked just up here, which is where we chatted about raised garden beds and why I chose to build my raised garden beds the way that I have, and asking whether or not there was other materials that they could use to build their raised garden beds. And the answer to that one is really simple. You can build a raised garden bed out of almost anything. I have seen them built out of old buckets that have had the bottoms cut out and they just push them into the ground. I've seen them made with tires. I've seen them made with sleepers or just big planks of wood. Anything that you can use and make relatively secure to hold the soil in will make a raised garden bed. You can really use your imagination with that. I hope you've enjoyed our little bonus bit here today. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so below and ring the bell icon if you'd like notifications. Otherwise, we'll see you at our regular time on Sunday for our regular episode. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week, and until next time, do widzenia.